Joy, this is just an amazing book to read in so many ways. It is so beautiful. The frame you found, the love story, is just perfect, especially for now. When you're covering territory that people have been through before, as you know, you have to find that frame they haven't found. And this really is it. But beyond that, you've got all sorts of stuff in here that I just did not know. I didn't know that he was on Omaha Beach on D-Day, and it just goes on and on.
Yeah, I mean, he was part of the Red Ball Express, and this was a segregated unit. They were the Transportation Corps. He served in Antwerp. He was on Omaha Beach. He was in France, in Liège. And, you know, these troops, these black troops, had to face the same gunfire. They had to face the same danger. They didn't have the same dignity or respect, but they had to make sure that the transportation units were constantly supplied. So they had to go back and forth across that dangerous beach and walk over bodies and run over white soldiers' bodies. They did the same service, but when they came home, they faced the same fascism in the land that they had fought to preserve the democracy of.
Myrlie Evers lived a very, very long life after this as the first of what you call wife of a civil rights martyr. And I want to go to your audiobook, because it's a beautiful audiobook, to hear your passage about this and about the burdens and about the expectations and the weight of what not just Myrlie had to live with, but Coretta Scott King afterwards and others. Let's listen to this.
When you are the wife of a civil rights martyr, everyone wants to take your picture. You make the covers of Ebony and Jet, and even Life. The photographers prefer that you appear demure and serious, befitting your tragedy. But you must neither smile nor cry, nor should your children, because it would ruin the photograph. You and the children must always be neatly and tastefully dressed, and you must never yell or scream, because that would be undignified. Your face must always remain perfectly composed, with enough powder and lipstick to make you pretty, but not so much that you appear gaudy. The newspapers will print your home address, and the curious will find your street, stand in front of your house, and point. The home of the martyr is a public attraction, and people will knock on your door and pose your children on the lawn, or even on the carport where their father's blood still casts a shadow that all the scrubbing bubbles and bleach you could muster could not remove. When you speak, you must talk of grace and forgiveness, and say something profound about faith in God and His unchangeable will. Myrlie Evers had to learn these rules because one wrong move, one errant word or flash of public anger could ruin the legacy of the man she loved. It was Myrlie Louise Evers, just 3 months over 30 years old, who was the first of the National Civil Rights Widows.
30 years old.
Yeah, and that's actually my favorite chapter. It was hard to write that chapter because I had developed such a personal relationship with Myrlie and was so bound up in her story. And it took me a long time to actually write the chapter where Medgar is killed. I cried through half the chapter writing it, or maybe that was the most journalistic thing to do. But I was so bound up with the two of them and their relationship and their love. But to me, what I loved about this chapter is that it's a reminder that of the national civil rights widows, the ones we know, the great Coretta Scott King, the great Betty Shabazz, Myrlie suffered that loss first. She was the first of the nationally known civil rights widows. So there was no one for her to turn to say, how do I do this? I'm 30 years old. I just lost the love of my life. My children watched him bleed to death. They were 9, 8, and 3. I'm a single mother now who has become a housewife, so now I have to earn a living. What do I do? And how do I make sure that the legacy of this man, is preserved and given its dignity? And I'm angry. I'm angry. They took away from me my love, my future, but I have to sort of stifle that down. And there was no one to teach her. The only person she knew, they were killing black men all throughout Mississippi. But on a national level, no one was at that level. These other widows weren't walking out to Dan Rather in their face with the CBS News crew. She was. And everything she did, she was terrified that it would actually destroy Medgar's legacy because of her deep anger and rage. And I think it's a lesson for black women, there is a thing, right, where you're never supposed to be angry. For women in general, just always be demure, always be perfect, always be, of perfect sort of character and talking about grace, and that's not what she wanted to do. But she was the template. She was the first to learn how to have to do this 2 years before Betty Shabazz had to do it, 5 years before Dr. King's widow, Coretta Scott King, had to do it. That's really what bonded them, is that they were in this sorority none of them wanted to be in, but she actually was the template.
Julia, there's so much more in this book to cover. I just can't recommend it enough. I've learned so much. I love this book so much.
you.
It's so full of heart. It's so full of important information. Joy Reid's new book and audiobook, which will be available everywhere tomorrow, is Medgar and Merle, Medgar Evers, and the love story that awakened America. Joy, thank you very much for awakening me to this story.
It means so much to me. I know we both care about the 60s so much. That means so much to me coming from you.
And thousands of readers are going to be awakened to this amazing. Thank you very much, Joy.
Thank you, my friend.